Imagine, hello, my relation.
Yeah.
Your Haudenosaunee, that many don't know that the five nations of New York, the Tuscarora, as well as the Cherokee, were one people along the East Coast, and they have their own story. And while those that are British calling themselves Americans after an Italian explorer that skirted along the coast in 1502 to see if Christopher Columbus was telling the truth, is this Asia? I'm going to go check. No, it's not. You come from a really noble people.
What?
Yeah.
Well,
So I'd say,
Chief
yep.
Midegah, give us some background and tell us a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, hey, listen, I do want to say for those that are watching, and this is sort of the aftermath of what maybe was a flood that came a little faster for most than what they were expecting. I'd say I want to honor my ancestors who have walked on the land, and so I want to speak their tongue and to speak to them first, because we know, especially you that are Latter-day Saints, that we were spirits prior to coming here, and we're spirits when we leave here, and the spirits that came here before with the spirits that are going to come here, and there's more of them than there are us, and they're relying on us to bridge the gap, especially right now before we reach charred earth, which isn't going to happen because our creator's a loving God. He'd never let that happen. Hey, your child picks up the remote and starts playing crazy. Before you destroy his entire entertainment center, he's going to take it away and be like, hold on a second here, let me show you what's going on. So I'd say, ani, ganina nana bojo, Mario Gichi daan indigo, Jiboy Mung, Adik Sangab Nindu Dem, and Iwakan and Dunjaba. I'd say, ani, it means I see your spirit, I see your light. That's how we said hello. Because it didn't matter what you looked like on the outside. It's what's right there looking through those eyes. We'd say, Ginina nana bojo. Is the creator working in your life? Are you a reflection of the creator? It matters more what's in your heart. That's what we're looking at. What's the heart of the matter? Someone told me that one time from Utah. That guy was a little wild, but he was true on that part. I'm called the kind warrior man of the Ojibwe people. We are Anishinabeg, we are Ojibwe, we are Ojibwe. We are three in one. We don't get all wrapped up about that because we know we're spirits tethered to this earth. We're spirits in a body, Ojibwe, spirits tethered to the earth, lowered, Anishinabeg. And then we're Ojibways. I'm recording a vision with the creator, but so are you. You are also Anishinabeg, Ojibwe, and Ojibwe. I'm not different than you. I'm from the Standing Firm Deer family. The Standing Firm was because of another issue, but we're the Great Deer family. We're from one of the original 7 clans that were organized of the Algonquin Anishinabeg. There are now 49. As over the last 7 generations, they have had subdivisions of 7 for each clan, which again, the elk dudum is the same as the caribou dudum. I am a member of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, but I am also a member of the Midegah, or the people who call themselves kindness, that was established by the great peacemaker when he walked amongst us in the 7 nations of North America. Now you may say, gosh, there's like 600 tribes. No, there's not. Language is family, and there are only 7 of them. And he walks amongst them all. Disputes.
Yes.
In the late 1890s, when they decided to make this a holiday, they happened to choose a day of genocide, or a point of genocide, when in 1626 or 27, there's disputes. The Puritans fasted for 3 days, and on the 4th day, they headed out, and they murdered the last 700 of the Puquo Indians. They're a family. And it's the first image of genocide. This is important to talk about the significance of your ancestors, because they're the ones that warned us. Maybe these aren't the brothers we were waiting for. But the brothers we were waiting for were the ones that came through the hearts of Joseph Smith. That he said, hey, wait a minute, maybe we need to plumb line ourselves here. And so what happened is the first image of genocide was a drawing of that massacre that was sent to England. It was published in the London newspaper. And that's the first image of genocide in the recorded world history. We know there's been lots of genocide. It's the first one someone made a picture of. The first photograph of genocide was in the 1890 Wounded Knee Massacre, where all those American soldiers stood over the grave of those mothers and children who, and those men received 20 medals of honor that they still won't take away. So, are they really sorry? But the Wampanoag were the ones that they sent 90 warriors to circle around the outside of those Puritan camp in case they came for them.
Their ancestors are here on the earth right now. Do you feel like that's happening right now?
Absolutely is. You know, we had 8 prophets appear 5 to 6 generations before the Europeans arrived, and they showed up along the eastern coast, and they gave us what you would Google called the 7 Fires prophecy. They said, hey, listen, the sacred teachings you have, which are literally you're keeping by the thread anyways, because we had our own continental issue with those that believed that the heart was the path to the Creator. Well, there were those that took that as how it was actually given by the people. And let me finish this, because this is critical to understand why it is we're doing what we're doing, and why I'm an Oshkabe was a ceremonial messenger to you, being sent because I'm from you. I am from the Smith family. I am from the Millet family. Artemis Millet, who built that temple in Kirtland, is my grandfather. I am from the Taylor family. I am from the Young family. And so who to come and speak to you but me? An Ogima of a Dudam. You know, I am first. This is another thing blowing up as I get into this. You know, chief of what? I am a headman of a Dudam, and that's the principal leadership. Secondarily, I represent 2 treaties in all state and federal cases related. So I'm a treaty chief as well. They call that a signatory. And lastly, I'm a messenger to you because I'm from your family. And these messengers, many generations said, you need to go west and safeguard what you have. It's going to disappear, but enough is going to survive that when you hit this 7th age, as we tell you chapters that will happen in your journey of struggle, that in this 7th age, there's going to be a miracle. Enough is going to survive that you're going to lead to the harmony or unity of all humankind who are your brothers. And so we are the last ones to be able to speak, and we are also the last ones to come out of a genocide. And so that is absolutely what is happening, about as I alluded to a minute ago, which was that we believe the path of the heart was the way to the Creator. It's in your heart. Live with your heart. Well, there were those to the south who outnumber us 10-1, even today, who took that literal and said, then you got to give it up. And they drag people to the top of altars and tear that heart out of your chest, hold it up in the sky. Oh, you've made it there because you gave your heart. No. When we talk about the path of the heart, which is why we've been saved for this moment, we're talking about remembering how much did Jesus love his mother? How much did his mother influence his wife? When we say, how should we treat each other? And he said, you better love the Creator. You better love your Father in heaven, because not only is there only one, but he also sustains it as in all things that you see, even yourself. Show some respect. And number 2, you're pretty sacred and special in creation. You are, as a human. Your intellect is made, the spirit in you is in the image of the Creator. We need to deal more kindly with each other and protect human life. That's a very critically important thing, especially right now. How did we do it? Well, he gave us some extra information. Don't ever forget, this is another thing, authority. And I'm going to get there. Just let me get there. Okay? He called 12 apostles in our land too, 12 chief elders. 3 of those would endure to the end, and we have a relationship with those 3. And they made sure remnants existed. And their authority wasn't removed. We just dwindled to where not a lot left. And Joseph Smith went to Kirtland and he received the keys from the other continent to act on this continent with the keys that were already here, coming together as one. And when he said, how do we do that? He said, well, you got to treat each other as you want to be treated. Well, how's that? Well, remember, your first baptism was your birth from that womb, that water of that womb in your mother. And that's the place where you first heard your very first experience, sound, feeling. That's your mom's heartbeat. That's why we beat the drum. Take away all the experiences that make you, hateful or hurtful or judgmental. Go back to that same place we all share. We're in that womb. And we know we're not alone because we hear our mother's heart. We feel it. Then we feel it in ourselves. It's in us. So we need to act with the love of the mother. And what does she do? Well, we see it today. You could be a convicted murderer and the mom's standing right next to him, loving him to the end. That's unconditional love. That's the love our Creator and Savior has for us. That's been forgotten today. And if the keys to judgment haven't been given to you, So yes, right now is the time where we're gathering and heading to the east for this fall in September, coinciding exactly the same with this meeting in Wisconsin. We're bringing all of our sacred teachings that have been hidden. Why were they hidden? These Europeans were trying to destroy it. If they catch anything, they'd burn it to the ground, so that we can remind you what you're saying is true. And if it's true, then maybe we should do things a little differently, because he's coming back. And when he comes back, is he going to give you a mulligan? I don't know about that. I just didn't know. Well, we're going to make it so that you don't have the ability to just say you're acting just by faith alone. That it's a fact. And if it's a fact and a truth, you can't deny it. And if you deny it, then you have chosen your canoe.